too much for most players to be able to deal with in that XP lane. So at the best bet, I think you have a choice between for Esmeralda here to go against Uranus. I think they're really kind of pointing to that side for the side of Ventrix ePro as we go ahead, pick up Theo's going to go ahead and pick up Kagura.
I do agree with that. Esmeralda, definitely the best option right now for Ventrix ePro. Able to move around the map, able to cut just as well as Uranus. You know, that's probably one of the few heroes that can cut that fast inside of the XP lane. We have seen, you know, Benedetta's work in the past as well. But yeah, we do see Jericho picking up that Esmeralda again. It's just a solid pick, man. It's probably one of the most picked fighters for the XP lane right now, just because of the rotations, the cuts, the sustainability. We've seen it. Jericho 3v1 in his tower and able to get out of it and defend it. Well, just a really good draft right now. But the Moskov right now being picked up by Imbajeste. How do you feel about that, Private?
I almost want to say I haven't been the biggest fan of Moskov. I just feel like there's marksmen who do what he does a little better and have a lot more potential earlier than Moskov. I feel like he's one of those heroes that I mean, if you reach the late game, that late game, get him stacked up, he just has an amazing amount of burst that he can output. But I feel like there's other ones that just provide more utility, provide more ability to kind of get into those back lines. Melissa, Claude, the damage that comes from Clint. We do see that Kagura got picked up, which is interesting to me as well. Poggy picking up that Lancelot as well. So we are going to see an assassin here, potentially maybe a successful one. I mean, it hasn't been all nose on the side of assassins here as we move into this game 2 of Vendetta taking on Ventrix ePro.
And that is going to be the entire draft for match 2. Looking pretty solid for both sides. I can't really say I like both of them. Game 1, we've seen more of a one-sided match. You know, we've seen Vendetta just snowball in terms of towers. They lost the turtles, but the towers were just getting pushed in. So we got to see Ventrix ePro just play a little bit more objective-wise. Don't give up these towers so easily, especially in the early game. Yeah, you get the turtles, but that's only one part of the game.
My only issue, my only problem, my only qualm here is this big wall in your way right now, which is going to be Theo on this Atlas. Once he gets that ultimate, and once he gets able to grab all of the members and be able to stun, I don't know what we have as an answer on the side of Ventrix ePro. And it's going to be interesting to see how well they can deal with it. We do see a little bit of an engagement happening here, Weezy.
Yeah, you do see a little bit of an engagement. You see Child Support going in, a little bit of the zonage. You see Pogi able, actually, no, it looks like the lethal was going to the favor of Vendetta. Yeah, just a little bit of an early game from both sides. But I like the Lancelot on the Ballman. You know, you can still steal those objectives. You can get the turtle. You can take the lords from the Ballman with the lethal counter, and also having a little bit of mobility when things get a little tricky.
Yeah, already we can see Uranus already starting to cut lane at the top. You see him basically living in their jungle right now of Ventrix ePro. Esmeralda doing the same thing there. I just feel like that Uranus does it a little bit more. 3-on-1 here, though.
Do you see the clash going in? Jericho using the mobility of Esmeralda, able to escape. This is what we were talking about, you know. Just a strong XP laner, can pretty much do it all. You do see the Uranus cutting the lane right now. A very solid rotation. That's what we want to see. We want to see that from both sides. The Esmeralda, the Uranus as well. Those cuts are gonna create opportunity for your team. But Turtle is in play. We do see a little bit of a clash. Child Support going in. Moskov trying to do some damage from afar. The Falling Star Moon going down. You see Jericho able to get a little bit of pill, but the kills are popping off. Shiki able to take out the jungle. The jungle's down. Ballman has fallen. Pogi able to get the kill over there on Child Support, and Turtle just going to the side of Vendetta.
Yeah, and unfortunately there immediately, as soon as they get the turtle, Fatal Links comes out from Theo. cleans up a shop over there at that turtle engagement. Immediately, I mean, this is the kind of decisions you need to make if you're going to be able to get it, if you're not going to be able to get it, especially being beat out as a Belmont. You really need to be tight on those retributions. You need to be able to make that Belmont shine and utilize those things that make him so powerful. One of them being the immense damage that he can do to objectives with the combination of that lethal counter and that retribution. And if you're losing out, especially when you're losing out on objectives to a Lance, I mean, a Lance kind of has the same thing. He does have that Thorn Rose that he's able to go out there and retri. So, I mean, almost the same thing as a Belmont when it comes to those retribution and abilities.
The battle of the retri. But yeah, it's looking good right now for the side of Vendetta. We did see them take game one. They didn't really get the turtles in the beginning start. That actually did go to the side of Ventrix ePro when they had the Ballman, but it's looking pretty solid. We got to see how Ventrix is going to answer. Their weakness in game one was more of just not prioritizing the defense on their towers. So it's still pretty close. It's not really one-sided right now. You know, just one clash could just change the entire game.
I mean, we are starting to look at about a 2K gold lead for Vendetta. 0-2 right now as we are starting to push in these lanes. Both XP laners basically doing the same thing, cleaning up the lanes, but it's going to start coming down to these next turtle engagements, these next team fights as we start looking out past the laning phase. But here comes the second turtle, both teams vying for position, Weezy.
You do see Pogi over there trying to secure this objective, but Child Support going in for the pill. The Wild Charge connecting, Yuki Terra taking advantage and securing the turtle. But the clash goes on. You see Yuna dealing additional damage. Shiki taking out Yuki Terra. He has fallen. They secured the turtle, but at what cost? The clash continues. Icy able to take out Pogi. Another kill for the side of Ventrix ePro. But Galaxy taking out Imba Justy. Just a bloodbath right now for both sides. You see Esmeralda, Jericho over there in the mid lane, doing a little bit of clearage, a little bit of peel, just taking advantage and getting the farm she can, while also giving not too much of a push for the side of Vendetta.
Yeah, pretty interesting there, especially you saw the Fatal Links land, being able to grab them, but not able to finish the job was Vendetta, which kind of evened things out here. As we take a look at the items, we can see both marksmen, Melissa just a slight bit ahead, both of them claiming that Wind Talker, and then Melissa kind of going for the more aggressive attack speed on the boots, while Moskov starting to build up more defense. So both marksmen kind of at the same spot, but pretty soon as we move into the I want to say the 7-minute mark, you're going to start seeing a little bit more aggression out of them as they start coming in and being a really big part of these team plays.
You do see a little bit of a clash over on the top side. Yuki Terra just clearing the lane. Man, this is a close game. I wouldn't say it's really one-sided right now. No towers have fallen. But in terms of gold, you are right. Vendetta does have the 2,000 gold lead. So the question is, how is Theo going to capitalize on these Fatal Links? That's really what I want to see, especially paired up against Child Support on that Rock. Speaking of Fatal Links, you do see it connecting. But Justy, will he be able to get out? You do see a little bit of a retreat, trying to escape, but Yuna able to take out the marksman. He has fallen. You see the 3-stack from the side of Vendetta, Ventrix ePro to go to that bottom lane. Just a lot of pressure right now, but a solid Fatal Links from Theo. You see the mid lane being pushed in as well. The clash going on. The tower has fallen on the mid lane. You see Vendetta, the heavy pressure, taking these towers again. Pogi able to secure the kill, taking out Child Support, and Jericho falling to Shiki. But the lethal counter going down. Icy able to take out Theo. Icy barely with any HP, but able to escape.
And this is what I like about this team. The moment they get that stranglehold on, they do not let go. They keep on the pressure. You can see them now starting on the turtle. Not much to contest it, but I mean, all the lanes starting to be pushed in, and they continue pushing, continue moving from tower to tower to kind of get more momentum on their side. Even Galaxy on this Uranus going ahead and pushing and cutting lane, continuing to keep the pressure on that for these team fights. Once they get lockjawed onto you, Vendetta is not going to let up, and you need to be able to find these openings and watch out for Theo with these fatal links.
I'm a big fan of the Uranus on the Esmeralda, especially when they're fighting, able to get those stacks. But the Fatal Link setting 3 of Ventrix, Ebro, and Yuna capitalizing, taking out Yuki, Terra. Icy has fallen. Child Support has fallen as well. And then the mid lane left to only be defended by Jericho. And the clash continues. The chase by Theo, trying to go for Imbajesti, but he is able to escape with the dash of Moscow. But Jericho clearing the lanes, trying to keep the pressure. The minions pushing in the tower. Will they be able to clear in time? The tower has fallen. The inner tower has fallen in the mid lane for Ventrix Ebro.
Man, and as prophesized by the seer, Theo able to come in and catch those fatal links on the entire team and drops 3 immediately. And this is the problem with leaving something like that open. You have to think about these things when you leave, when you ban out that Dick, you leave open that Atlas. He coming in again here, looking for some. It is getting stunned.
The fatal links and the wall combination. Theo is trapped, and Yuki Terra able to take him out. Pogi taking out Yuki Terra. Shiki taking out Child Support, but it's not over. You have Imbajesti, Jericho trying to defend against the 3-stack from Vendetta right now. Will they be able to stop them? You see Yuna on the bottom lane, able to secure that tower, and Pogi getting a little bit far behind enemy lines with a little bit of a emote as well, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of getting a little fancy here. You see the minions in the mid lane pushing as well, and Lord has spawned.
Yeah, Lord has spawned now, and this means we're either going to probably be turning around here. Galaxy getting really deep onto that tower, taking a decent amount of shots there, but that's because we're at an 11K gold lead at the 9-minute mark. So they are well ahead, well put with the items, well put with what they can tank here. I mean, basically, you see Lance is already kind of soloing that while basically on his own. Galaxy's just going ahead and tanking out the entire team. Gonna go ahead and try to find something here on this Moskov, but it looks like he's gonna go ahead and find an escape route beforehand.
Now, I will say, for the side of Vendetta, I like their composition. They're very mobile, especially against that Grok who puts up those walls. It's going to be very hard for him to get some decent sets and some traps in there for them. So it's a little too much. I don't know. Maybe even an Akai could have worked here against the Atlas, but I just don't think they have the right answer to stop the fatal links. And Theo just putting on that pressure. He might not be able to escape from those walls, but once he gets behind those enemy lines and grabs a couple of them up, Vendetta has the mobility to capitalize and the damage and also the advantage right now.
Galaxy not even bothering to move when this damage comes out from Yuki, but we do have the Lord crashing down at mid. Fatal links.
Oh, you see the Thorn Rose over there by Lancelot. Double kill by Shiki, taking out Child Support. Yuki Terra taking out Theo. No fatal links, but Lord is pushing in. Will Ventrix Ebro be able to defend the pressure from Vendetta? They are going to go for the tower. Do they get the game? Game does go to Vendetta. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 2-0. Vendetta moves to the top 8.
Boy, what can you say but domination to describe that match from Vendetta. Maybe a little bit shaky in the early game, but made sure that as they got that turn.